I have the great pleasure right now of being joined by the ASHG president, Dr. Nancy Cox. Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So talk a little bit about the society and the reach, not just for the members, but really I think for the broader genetics community.
So the American Society of Human Genetics is the largest genetics organization in the world, the largest human genetics organization in the world. And we do reach broadly into Europe and Asia, certainly Central and South America as well, and that's one of our targets going forward, is to forge better bonds among the scientific groups representing different parts of the world. There are some world organizations. The International Congress of Human Genetics is something where we can all get together periodically every 5 years in different places, and we have so many challenges in common in now that human genetics is so rapidly growing into medicine, into every aspect of medical care. The opportunities to face those challenges together, different of the societies across the world, I think is one that we all appreciate and value when we can get together. And the importance of getting more genetic counselors, for example. So we partner with the genetic counselors societies, and in Japan they have also a great need. So there's a lot of sharing of some of the goals that we have across the societies.
Yet in some of those areas you mentioned, there are discrepancies clearly in the abilities. How do you get your members more involved to bridge that so that collaboration can help push the science forward?
So the society has a number of very active committees, and then we also stand up ad hoc committees when there's special activities or needs that the society would like to meet. One of the growing areas I think that the society is dealing with is in the area of public policy, and the need to help educate both the public and sometimes members of Congress, for example, on the consequences of legislation that they're looking at. Even when everybody is acting in what they think is for the greater good, we all appreciate that the actions have consequences, rippling out. And I think, especially when those consequences impinge on the Genetic Information Privacy Act and so forth, we're very interested in those consequences and anxious to preserve acts like GINA. And so some of the policy activities on the part of the American Society of Human Genetics relates to protecting genetic information in the context of medical care. The GINA Act was very instrumental in getting that started, and I think the American Society of Human Genetics and many other genetic societies are very protective of that act. It took a long time to get passed.
Well, clearly you're involved in a larger way than simply the science. Are there programs or initiatives that you are really most proud of now?
Most of science is very actively engaged in more outreach to communities that have not been well represented in science, and the importance of getting diverse populations, getting women into STEM fields, getting populations, underserved minorities into STEM fields, I think is something that all scientific societies are working hard to do, and beginning programs earlier and earlier, because in some ways even high school is almost too late to bring somebody into a science field. You have to be taking the right courses in high school to be able to even to get into some of the courses that you need in college for STEM education. And so making sure that kids who are naturally scientists, little kids all love science, and they're all interested in experiments, and to get into the middle schools where some of that gets lost, considered to be not cool or whatever it is, and preserve that enthusiasm for science and help educate middle schoolers on the importance of continuing to take science and math courses as they get into high school. I think those are areas that many scientific societies are trying to figure out how to get into. It's not the pipeline needs to be extended further down into the education years, and yet that's not something that comes naturally to people at the very end of that pipeline, as it were.
And truly, it is such an exciting time when you think about this research and the concept of personalized medicine being within grasp for the young people that are starting out in this society now. What is some words of advice that you have?
I think that part of American education that has lagged is bringing computational thinking sort of out into everything. I mean, even in biology programs, it's been hard to get computational courses and bioinformatics. A biology major might require a year of calculus, for example, but no statistics, and it's impossible to do modern biology without working knowledge of statistics. And frankly, to do modern biology without the ability to use information and manipulate computers. So I think part of what we need to be doing as educators is changing undergraduate curriculum to include more of the things that are important in everyday life, including computing.
Thank you so much, Dr. Katz.